computer. Hi, I'm Dr. Gloria Ingram. I am a parent, a teacher, and the author of the book that you see in my background, Building Harmonious Parent-Child Relationships. It's a step-by-step guide to unlock effective communication, promote positive behavior, and cultivate empathetic connections. Last week, I mentioned negative behavior. Today, I'm going to focus on challenging behavior. I know some of you parents can remember your last challenging moments. Now, some parents believe that you should spank or, give out strict punishments. But research has shown that harsh punishments lower the child's self-esteem, creates sadness, causes depressions, and can even give them a feeling of helplessness. The thing that parents should mostly concentrate on is to be a role model so that your children can follow you and learn how to be accountable and not be concerned about authority, because that's a sign of fear. And you don't want your children to fear you. You want them to follow what you do. So you want to be a role model that your child can follow. Oh, when I first started this, I did a table strategy video. And I told you that the table is for more than just coming together to have meals together. You can use that table to come up with the things that you expect for the family or that the family expect together. That's the purpose of the table, is to ensure that you come together and everybody have a say in what's going to be going on in the house and with the family. You can come up with things that you expect. You can help to solve problems there. And that goes along also with the discipline and what is going to be considered something that should not be done in the house. And if it's done, what are the consequences? So there are sometimes when you have a problem in the house, I also I had a video on when you have too much clutter in your house. That can start a problem. It can also make you sick. Loud noise is the same thing. It could really cause medical problems. So there are some things that you just cannot have in the house if you want to have a positive, relationships. So you come together and you talk about what needs to be done, and that includes um, tantrums and getting angry and doing things that that the family didn't say you were going to do together. You're going to have your chart beside the table, so everything that's decided will be on that chart. You can refer to it at any time. One might be to, when you come in, you pull your shoes off, leave them in your bedroom. Don't bring them to the kitchen. If you do, then there has to be something beside that particular task that will tell you what will happen, what are the consequences if you do it and you continue to do it. You don't always punish or give them consequences for the first time and every time there, because you can a lot of times just discuss it, and maybe this particular time you don't have to say anything. But if you find that, yes, this is something I think we need to discuss and ask questions about to see if it can be done away with, especially the clutter and the loud noises in the house. Because you got other people there and it will affect other people. That's one thing that you are really concerned about. Now, in order to not have so many times that you have problems and you have to have consequences for them, there's some things that you can do. Like, for instance, praising. Don't wait until the child does something bad or does something that's not on the chart to talk to the child. When you see that the children are trying to do things to make it good, positive feelings for the family, sometimes you go to them and you say that to them. I am so happy that you're keeping and the rules and doing the things that the family discussed that we should do. By the same token, uh, when the child has done something wrong, you may be able to use some of that praise and the good that they've done to lessen the consequences. So you want to always think about being positive, regardless to what they are doing. Now, I tell you, communication again and empathy, that's the foundation for having a happy home. You sit down, you talk with your children. When they need to talk, you sit down with them and talk with them without being judgmental. One of the things that tends to work a lot of times is when you go over and if they allow you, you could put your arms around them and you can say, I love you and I really don't like to see you sad. And when show the whiteness of your eyes, you always want to face them. You never want to talk to them, talk to their head, I say. You always face them because if they see the whiteness of your eyes, they start to trust you. It's just something about that. Maybe she does care for me, or maybe he does care for me. And you use it that period when you see that there's about to be a tantrum or they're about to have a bad moment, let's say. And that's when you go and talk with them and try to find out what is wrong. You ask questions uh, that will kind of guide the conversation along. Why did you do it? Why did you feel that you needed to do it? Did it affect anybody else? If it did, you ask, do you think you can do better the next time? And let them talk. Don't you try to talk while they are talking because you need to find out exactly what the problem is. And that is also the way that you can build trust and respect. We really, as parents, want that all the time. It's hard to trust. I mean, to be with somebody, live with somebody that you cannot trust. So we have to sort of be out front to continue to remind the family that that is what we're working on, trust and respecting each other. Next week, let's just say that you have a conflict or there was a conflict that has not been solved yet. This would be a good time to get started with it, to bring everybody to the table and say, this is what has happened. What should we do about it? How did you feel when it happened? Did it affect anybody? Did anybody get hurt? And as they answer the questions, they are learning how to make decisions. Another thing that you really want them to be able to do always look at the situation, listen to everybody with communication. Of course, you know, you have to listen and then accept what they are saying. You have to really feel that you want this family to be positive and to know how to speak to each other, how to help each other, and to discuss it in case something goes wrong or different from what you had on your chart beside the table. With the tantrum, you want to stay very, very calm. Don't don't give in. Don't say, well, you know, I'm so sick and tired of this crying and acting out. Go on and do it. No, because then you'll find yourself being manipulated. So you may have to go back to the table and change some of the rules. Maybe after you made the rule, it didn't work out. And so you may have to go and change it. But you never want to give in until you have everybody in the family at the table to agree upon whatever it is that you're going to do. Consequences, you need to have discussed whatever is happening that you are given a consequence for to before it happens. And because everybody needs to know what's expected. So if you say, if you do this, this is what's going to happen. When they do it, you have to remember to praise them for doing it and be personal about it. I am so happy that you are doing it. You are taking your shoes back to your room. You are not listening, taking your telephone when you go to bed. The things that you can see on that chart that has to be done, you look around all the time and make sure that you're keeping up with it and you are praising them for doing it and trying to do the right thing. Now, a real meltdown, you're going to have a lot of patience. You don't try to talk while they're hollering, crying, and kicking. You talk once they are calm. Now, I know this works because when I went back to teaching school, I taught children who had IEPs, individual educational plans. And a lot of them were on medication, and a lot of them were not on medication. Either way, if when they started to act out and have meltdowns, I had an assistant who was very, very good with talking to people who had mental problems, and she had 4 boys. So the first sign that we saw this was going to turn into a meltdown, she would always go over to them, to the person, and put her arms around them and start talking to them in their ear. Undivided attention. No, why did you do this? Nothing. It's just, it appears that you're not feeling well today. What can I do to help you? And every time she would talk them down. Now, sometimes it would last a while, and I would have to take the rest of the kids out. But most of the times, just because she knew how to talk to that person, it would calm down. And so we didn't have that much of a problem. And we also believed in giving awards for when you were good. So that helped a lot too. It stopped a lot of the meltdowns from happening. But in the midst of a meltdown, if you could talk to them and give them the attention that they had probably not had for a very long time, you would see them start to come around. And you could praise them. You could praise them for stopping. Always think about praising As a matter of fact, not just your child, praise anybody that's around you, or adults when you see they've done a good job. Maybe nobody's even said anything to them about doing a good job and helping other people and all that kind of thing. So always think about a way that you can praise these children. Stay calm, stand firm, and praise them. Oh, now to summarize this, hard punishment will tear a person down. It's not showing empathy. And remember, empathy and communication, they're the things that we really need in order to have a harmonious relationship. Um, as I said, no matter what, you want to always look at what kind of good can I get out of just what just happened? And you must always be consistent. You don't say you can do this today and then let them do something else the next day. You look on your chart in the classroom. We had charts all around. You had to do your work. There could be no uh, hitting on each other. You didn't bother with each other's things that they had at their seat, so you didn't even need to be at their seat. And that helped us a lot. We worked together. My assistant and I, we worked together because we were really concerned that they were behind and we wanted to see them get caught up. So it worked well with us, and they wanted to be caught up too. Sometimes you don't think so, but they did. And you have to, again, trust and respect so that they can see it in you, and then they will do it also. Next week, I'll be talking about social media, screen time, your when you can play with your computer, when you can take it into your bedroom, when you can't, and bullying. Now, that's something that I have problems with. And sometimes I get a little angry myself. I don't like bullying. I don't see there's no reason for it. So in my classroom, you couldn't do it. And adults do it sometimes too. So you don't want to bully anybody, whether it's an adult or not, because your child will tend to do exactly what they see you do. Okay. Thank you for coming in. Don't forget to try to start um, a chore, a task this week where you can go back to maybe something that has happened that you didn't do anything about and sit down and discuss it. Remember, in the discussion, everybody can, give input because everybody will have to do it. So I'll see you next week. Thank you for coming in.